3, 2, 1, show love!
She said that I was white, educated, and male. She said that I was privileged. Granted. But then I realized, I got this problem. You see, I grew up in a forested area, standing as an underling, overshadowed in the thick boonies as an insidious recipient of cloud-covered clarity. It brought a solidarity with myself. But luckily, I moved from the elderly vignette to the alley where safety is sold for cigarettes, a ubiquitous assimilation. From former isolation to latter inner-city integration, subsidies sounding like segregation as I recall the neighbors who stood on pigeon stoops. Cooped up in fear, their long-belated visitors soon to be near, pensive at the leer of the Grand Inquisitor's cheer. A shapeshifter. In the form of CAS, eviction notices, addictions which stung like singed lotuses. These were the cons. But the pros, they weren't hoaxes. Meeting hostesses who I shared golden marshmallow moments in contrast. I remember a woman as good as my mother. She found out that her ex-husband illegally got a nexus pass from their daughter by forging signatures. She showed me the paperwork from a litany of commissioners who petitioned her not to be a petitioner because there would be an international fire warning about how we had covered up smuggled in white-collar smoke as an extracurricular. I recall with such gall seeing adversity burned into the pores of poverty, making privilege look less like something skin-deep and more like a sunburn. She died later that year. Alcoholism sparked by silence. The irony winds have tasted of ash. The salient awareness has spun on my lungs so that now, my childhood, that was an evergreen lethargy. My adolescence, a contagion of apathy. And now I'm still trying to feel privilege, pivoted in this young existence, considering I've seen spilt tears on women's shelters' mattresses. I won't falter from ponderous to pretentious impostor no longer. I'll stop this saunter from rebellious to relentless wood fodder. Pauper, dressing like a prince, I can't be bothered. I still feel the pang of survivor's guilt every time nostalgia suckles my senses. Unlike those not taught how skin tint tinges when having felt the fire forced on the fringes, with amber tattooed across their faces, it's as if their convictions only matter at the arrival of flickering flesh. I'm still trying to learn how to peel away this inner veil and let this pain heal despite all these years from running from stunning seclusions and insatiable intimidations. Too many invasive infatuations have brought me back to licking black and white insecurities. I just wish that after all this time, privilege taught me a little less about, all these people that I've seen who are my friends with all these difficulties that they strive to overcome, and a little more about how to turn this privileged perspective into justice. Thank you. This is for all the people that want to help but don't know how. July 2011. High pitches complement a monstrous engine resonating from the gas-guzzling tourist bus crawling snail pace through my home, No Daddy Alley. Like a bumbling drunk in an AA meeting, religion has been pushed here before. But my neighbor's reaction to this missionary flying circus backdrop was so perfect, Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John Cleese could not have written it better. The evangelicals are coming! The evangelicals are coming! And I was the agnostic opening the door. It only took $500 for me to leave my complex and, on every battered, broken, eggshelled colored door, swearing allegiance to their mantra, no strings attached. Now, I can forgive the supporters of intelligent design for denying attached strings. But what I can't forgive is how I sold my neighbor's heathen heads to a busload of puppeteering heaveneers. Ergo, I'm done. I'm done evangelizing their mixed agenda blessings. Economic trials are just that, not righteous testing. Now can you please tell me the difference between Pharisees and modern-day folks from Tennessee besides Dante and the Divine Comedy? And speaking of the many missions searching for the Holy Grail, well, I found it. Third aisle of Blockbuster. I will send it in the mail. Testimonies of the resurrection. Now Fox News gets biased in a millisecond, yet 2 millennia of crusades and indulgences doesn't indulge any empirical thought. And the Big Bang is just a theory. Well, I've got my own Big Bang theory with Mary. Apologize to the kids. It's called ejaculate. Bang, geopolitical, uncritical, hypocritical Hicks want to rescue me, paint my home and spare me from blasphemy, blasphemy. Bang, 6 houses down, 316-pound John sits on a toilet unsupported. Afraid this month he won't plummet into depression but his kitchen. Afraid this month he'll fall short on his fatherly duty, leaving his 6 kids insuranceless. John does not need the Lord, he needs a convicted landlord. Then there's schizophrenic Mark, pacing every room, grasping a machete. The voices go darker as suicide grows stronger, as he's intolerantly raised his tolerance on his recommended prescription. Mark does not need the Lord. He needs a caring physician. Then there's Matthew, 14, can't read, smokes weed from ghetto contraptions, became sexually active 2 years back, never knew contraceptives, never knew how to be perceptive till 9 months later. Matthew did not need the Lord. He needed a teacher, attention, maybe music or theater. The last thing we need is a universal transfusion. Stop this O-negative solution in your spiritual union like Jesus distinguishes civilized from subhuman. I'm done giving my First Nations neighbors their biblically built quilt missionary movement. I'm done banging on more broken eggshell colored doors, delivering blankets infected like smallpox politics. I'm an agnostic and I am sorry that I was clueless, but next time that they need some help, they're going to need to find another willing Judas. Thank you.